Welcome. Generating sequence. You're listening to
In this episode, we look at what's happening in the world of gaming in our points of interest. I have a look into the age-old debate, console versus PC, and I have a quick chat about what we know so far about Battlefield 5. Hello gamers, and welcome back to the Dencast, where the talk is all things gaming from right here in the Den in Melbourne, Australia. Welcome if this is your first time here, and welcome back if this is your more than first time here, obviously. First of all, before I actually get into anything, I just want to give a big thanks to the people that have given me some great reviews in this early career of this podcast. It is much appreciated. So I just do want to sort of let you people know that if you do want to get in touch with me and let me know anything about gaming or just anything in general about the show, you can contact me at the Dencast on Twitter or the Dencast on YouTube. I believe you can leave comments there, or the Dencast show at gmail.com. We also live stream on Twitch, which is the Dencast, all one word, and we also on Twitter tweet out when we do that to keep you informed. I just wanted to open with the social media aspects, because I do normally say that at the end, and I don't know how many people sort of listen to the end, all the way to the end, because it's quite common where, we live a busy life and we might only listen half or three quarters in and maybe never get back to it. So for those of you who maybe would like to sort of follow us further in other areas, just thought I'd throw that out there. So anyway, let's get into gaming with our gaming points of interest of what's been happening so far. PC Gamer has announced that The Division 2 will release within the next year, that Ubisoft has apparently confirmed. So for all you Division lovers, Division 2 is well on the way. The Steam Link app that we actually spoke about in our first episode is now available for Android, and the iOS version will be coming soon. So Android users, please check it out and actually let us know on Twitter or wherever I mentioned earlier. I'd love to know how that works actually. Feel free to shoot me some info on that. Fortnite adds a competitive solo showdown mode for a limited time, which I think is a single player mode, 100 v 100 I believe. And I think it's the way that works is the winner earns those V-Bucks that you get on the game. So it's kind of something different, I guess, that Fortnite have done with the different other modes that they've brought in. So I guess it just brings a new competitive aspect to it, and there's kind of money on the line, even though it's not, you're not really forking out dollars to get in there, but instead of spending your own money to get the skins or whatever it is that you can get with Fortnite, they're offering V-Bucks in this solo showdown mode. So PC Gamer have an article on that, so if you want more info, you can look that up. Ubisoft's ambitious pirate game Skull and Bones has been delayed, according to GameSpot. Sorry, Great Scott. I was watching Back to the Future earlier. I think that's where that came from. So if you're a fan of pirate games, Skull and Bones has got a delay on it. So you can look out for that on GameSpot if you want to see where that's going further. If you want to play the Black Ops 4 beta, you have to pre-order on PlayStation. So if you do want to have, access to Black Ops before anyone else does, and in their beta version, looks like you have to pre-order to have a chance at that. No Man's Sky, which I believe will be doing a show on that eventually with this new update. But for those that don't know, they're going to have an update on the PS4 and the PC, plus a launch on the Xbox. So for all the people on Xbox that have been hanging out to play that game, your wish will soon come true on July the 24th. And they're going to have their proper multiplayer added into it, so you can explore together, meet random travelers apparently, build shared bases, dogfight, race vehicles. Interesting. I believe there'll be a lot more in that update as well, so we will cover that pretty in-depthly, because that's a game that has been in the news for a long time. So hopefully that's the game that we've all been wanting to, that we're expecting from day one. They've done pretty good, Sean Murray and his team, with sort of, I guess, working on the game from what happened at launch. So, yeah, interesting to see how that one goes ahead. The Deadpool 2 director will be making a video game movie adaptation. So, if for all you Deadpool movie lovers, if you like playing movie-orientated games, well, you're going to have a chance potentially with Deadpool. So that would be interesting. The Fortnite CEO says that PS4 and Xbox. Oh my god, I can't talk today. Says that PS4 and the Xbox One crossplay is inevitable. Now that would be interesting. I know you can do that at the moment with PS4, PC, and I think the phone app is integrated into that as well. It would be cool, a PS4 and Xbox. I always said that with Call of Duty, like how cool would it be playing team deathmatch, and one team was PS4 players and the other team was Xbox, because you do get a bit of that war between the Xbox users and the PS4 users, which console's better. So that would be pretty cool if you were playing like a 50v50, PlayStation versus Xbox. So we'll see if that ever happens. I know there's been talk about that for a long time in plenty of other games as well. So watch that space. There's an update for the PS4 out there, which I think just basically does like system performance type of stuff. So you can look into that and look up that and see what exactly that's all about. Star Wars open world game in the works at EA, according to a job listing. Apparently there was a job listing, according to GameSpot, in relation to an open world Star Wars game. So for all you Star Wars lovers and game lovers who love the open world style games, there might be an interesting one for you. The team at Scuff Gaming have built an official PS4 professional controller. I myself have a Scuff controller that cost me an arm and a leg. And I must admit, one thing that really griped to me was I really like to keep things official. So, I guess playing with it, I always felt like I got like an aftermarket sort of controller, which I guess it is technically. But apparently now, PlayStation and Scuff are joining forces, and they're going to have a licensed controller, gaming controller with all the little bits on it, but with a hefty price tag, I reckon. So keep an eye on that, and it won't be cheap, trust me. So keep an eye out for that one. According to PlayStation, the PS4 is entering the end of its life cycle, which I believe they reckon might be around 2 to 3 years' time before we ever see a PlayStation 5. But the end is nigh for the PS4, you PS4 lovers out there. So, start saving for a new console soon by the looks of things. Overwatch will get a new version that comes with 15 new skins. So look out for that, you Overwatch players. The next Xbox One update will finally save multiple Wi-Fi passwords. I'm not sure if that's out yet. That was an article I got in touch with 2 days ago. So not 100% when that's coming out, but apparently you'll be able to save more than one Wi-Fi password, which I believe you can do on the PlayStation 4 at the moment. Pro Evolution Soccer have just added 7 new authentic leagues coming to the 2019 release, and 2 more will be announced soon, but the 7 at the moment is the Russian Premier League, Superliga, Quimiles Classica, excuse my reading, these obviously are hard to read, some of them, Superliga, Liga NOS, Rifesen Super League, Ladbrokes Premiership, Jupiler Pro League. They're the 7 new ones, and 2 to be confirmed. So for you soccer lovers for the consoles and the PC, and I know in Australia we've got many nationalities here, and I know obviously in other countries as well. There's a lot of multicultural countries out there. You can probably most likely now play leagues from your your origins and where you were born maybe, or your parents were born, and the teams that they follow. So interesting there. Far Cry will have their first add-on, escape from behind enemy lines in a war-torn Vietnam and get your squad to the extraction zone. It's called Far Cry 5 Hours of Darkness, which will be available June 5th. Not 100% how much that's going to cost, but will be out soon for all you Far Cry lovers. I did a quick review on Far Cry 5 in our first podcast. So if you missed that one, please feel free to go back there and listen to it. The new game on PS4, Detroit Become Human, isn't very good apparently. I haven't played it, so I'm not going to... I can't give a personal opinion. I'm just sort of giving a basic feel of what I've read out there, and the ratings aren't that good at the moment. So I'll keep an eye on that, and I might try and get a chance to play it as well, and I can give you guys a more, personal take on it. But the general feel out there is it's not doing as good as people expected. PUBG on Xbox now has the Miramar map 5 months after it debuted on PC. So Xbox have only had that first map, and now they're getting Miramar, which is more of an open sandy sort of style map. So Xbox players can finally play something different on PUBG, and maybe will give that game a bit more life on Xbox once again. My personal preference is actually the first map. I don't like the sandy open style map on Miramar, but that's just me personally. So Xbox lovers, you should now have access to that one. A Nintendo 64 Classic may be on its way. Trademark reveals on a CNET article that I read. I know the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo Entertainment System ones that come out were very popular. So Nintendo 64 Classic will probably just be as popular. So look out for that, you Nintendo lovers. And I think that pretty much sums up our points of interest. There was a bit to go through. It was sort of, the week started off a bit quiet, and then everything sort of just come through at once. So yeah, that was the gaming points of interest. And now let's get into an interesting topic that I always have with friends: PC versus console. PC versus console. What a debate this has been for the ages. I can give a pretty good, review on both, because I do own both. So this is definitely something I've really wanted to speak about because it's, there's a wall between the two, and just thought I'd give my opinion on it. So what I just want to basically do is just give the pros of, PC and cons of PC, and the same, in the consoles, the pros and cons. So I'll run through that. Something, for you to think about, food for thought. And if you disagree or agree, please let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions on it as well. So I'll start with PC. Some pros I could think of. Generally, it is better graphics. So if you do spend money on a more higher end machine, you're going to get much, much better graphics than you would on the consoles at the moment. Even though you've got Xbox and PlayStation do have their 4K versions out now, which I guess these days you can't get any better than 4K. So that kind of, the argument is a bit skewed there. But generally speaking, over the course of time, PC, you do get a lot cleaner and a lot smoother graphics. There's lots of upgradability options for the PC, so you can always, things are always updating, and technology is just crazy. So it's pretty easy if you know what you're doing. Even if you don't know what you're doing, I built my PC not knowing how to build a PC. I basically just watched a YouTube video and first time turned it on, and still today it's been fine. So, if you want to upgrade your chip or your graphics card, it's just basically you buy it, open up your box and chuck it in, and then away you go. You do have a wider selection of games on PC. Generally, most Xbox and PlayStation games, big titles are on PC as well. So as a PC player, if you don't have an Xbox or you don't have a PlayStation, chances are you can play those games on the PC. But you also get a lot of games that aren't on console, and a lot of games that are sort of in beta as well. Now, I know with Xbox and PlayStation these days, with their stores that you can access through the console, it's a lot more common now, I guess, to play those indie games and things like that. But generally, PC, you've got your betas where developers are just starting a game out, and you can buy the game pretty cheap and get the gist of it. And then obviously over time, that game will just keep growing and hopefully come to a full release. But there are tons and tons of PC games out there that are like that. Even complete games that you'll never get to play on console. When I've only built my PC probably 6 months ago, and I'm loving playing these games that I never even not new games, mind you, but games that have been out for a few years and I've never even heard of. If it wasn't for a PC. You can use, you can have the option to use several monitors. Some PC players have like a 2-3 monitor setup, where on consoles it's not really that easy to do or not possible at all. I, for one, am a single monitor type of person, but I have seen these crazy rigs where they've got 2 or 3 monitors set up, and it looks pretty awesome. Some cons of PC gaming now. They can be expensive to purchase. If you do want a high-end rig, you're going to be paying far more than a console. We're talking into the thousands of dollars, so definitely a con because it's going to hit your pocket. They can be expensive to maintain. If things die on you, like your graphics cards, because they're sort of one of the most expensive things at the moment. You'll buy a new graphics card for probably what a console will cost you. So, definitely to maintain can be costly as well. PCs generally, aren't as mobile. What I mean by that is there's been a few times I've taken, just unplugged, say, the PlayStation and taken it away with me, or if I'll go visit my mum for a few days in the past, I can just easily take the console with me. Where, look, I guess you can do the same with a PC, but a bit more mucking around involved, I reckon. Unless it's a laptop, which obviously is made for mobile sort of use. But talking just PCs, as in desktop PCs, generally not as mobile. Another thing I find is with PC gaming as a con is you actually get too damn picky on graphics and frames per second. I find myself, when I buy a new game, just staring at it, trying to work out, is it good graphics? Is it, if this was on console, I've seen this on console. Does it look cleaner? And I'm always forever watching the frames per second clock. Seeing what frames per second my system's pushing out. Where on a console, you wouldn't really give it a second thought, because, you basically get what you get. Where with a PC, it's more about, you buy these high-end machines and you got these, expectations on them. And anyway, for me, I'd love to hear from other people like that, but I'm just forever, looking at the graphics and the frames per second and really, trying to work out, or trying to make sure that, my money was well spent and the game's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So that pretty much sums up, a pretty decent range of PC pros and cons. Let's move into console now. Some pros is obviously it's cheap and affordable. So like before, it's a lot cheaper than buying a PC. These days you can get a PS4 for probably, $300, $300 and something, or no more than $400, I'd imagine. And same as an Xbox. I know their 4K versions are a little bit more expensive, but again, not as expensive. If you're going to go buy a PC that can handle 4 gaming, you'll definitely be paying more than a console at this point in time. Now, split screen gameplay. Now, what I mean by that is not like what I was saying with the monitor, like the dual monitors. Split screen is in like, you're playing on the one screen and there's a split straight down the middle of it, or across it, more likely. You can't really do that with PC. I haven't come across games that do that on a PC, and I don't really see how it would really work unless you've got 2 controllers plugged in, or one's on a keyboard and one's on a controller. So, look, it would all be a bit messy on a PC, but definitely if you've got a friend over with a console, you've got 2 controllers, line across the middle, top to bottom, and you're on your way. Consoles have exclusive titles. So like what I said before with PC, generally, Xbox and PlayStation games are on the PC, but some consoles have, their console exclusive game, like for argument's sake, Spider-Man that's coming out pretty soon is a PlayStation exclusive. You're not going to be, at the moment, you're not going to be playing that on PC nor Xbox. So games like that, can be a positive, I guess, if you own that specific console and you've got that specific game that you want to play, and it's just available on your console, well then that's a big pro for you. You do get long lifetime out of them, I'd say. So what I mean by that is, like, the PlayStation's now been out for a fair few years. if I brought a PC the same time as the PS4 came out, I would definitely by now have been looking to upgrade it. Where with a PlayStation, you obviously don't have a choice because that's the most recent one. So I guess you got that your PS4 is the same as the next person's PS4. So, it's not like one person's got a high-end PS4 and you don't. So generally, that's a good thing. And definitely, you're going to have it you're all going to have it for as long as that console's out. Another pro is most likely there will be more friends having that console. So if you're into multiplayer, I find on PC not many of my friends have game on PC. So if I want to play some multiplayer games, it's a bit lonely. But if you're on console, chances are a lot more of your friends are going to have that Xbox or that PlayStation as well, and you'll be able to party up with them and play. And finally, the pro is, I believe, a console is more relaxing in a way. And what I mean by that is, it's plugged into the TV most likely, and you can sit on the couch and relax and pick up the controller and not think too much and play the game. Where with a PC, you've got your mouse and keyboard, and even though it's not hard, I'll be honest, I'm not the type of person that can start typing and not look at the keys. Never been like that, and I was a bit worried when I built the PC, thinking, am I going to struggle to play these games? But love the mouse and keyboard, I really do. But if you just sort of want to sit down, relax, not overly think too much, and just enjoy the game with a control in your hand, then definitely I think more relaxing than what a PC can be. So a few cons for the consoles. To replace or upgrade them, you need to pull the whole damn thing apart, and you are limited to what you can upgrade. So if you do want to upgrade like storage and things like that, you can do. It's not like you can upgrade a graphics card on a console. So, is what I mean by how limited you are. But there is a lot more mucking around with making changes to consoles than there is with a PC. You've also got limited performance and graphics, and that's like what I was saying about, say, the PS4 that was out 5 or 6 years ago. Compared to now, definitely the performance is very limited to what a PC would be if you're getting even a mid-range PC. And generally finally a con on consoles is you got to pay to play online. Xbox, you got to pay your fee. PlayStation, you've got to pay your fee. And PC, you don't. You can just buy the game and play online and not pay anything extra. So definitely a con in the console department. That's pretty much the pros and cons I could sort of come up with. So please, if you agree or disagree or you have any more, feel free to shoot them right at me, because I'd be very interested to hear your opinion. Definitely a debate for the ages, that one. So yeah, would love to hear your thoughts on that, on what I've sort of come up with there between the two. So let's move into Battlefield 5 now, just to finish off the this show. So what I'd like to do is move on to Battlefield 5, which has just been revealed only a few days ago from this recording. Battlefield 5 will come out on October 19th, and it will be set in World War II, apparently, is what we know. Now, it's a bit interesting that, because in the trailer, it does have a World War II-y type of look, but it does have a bit of a futuristic look about it, I think. So it's definitely interesting. They have confirmed that War Stories will make a return. And what I can gather with that in an article that I read on TechRadar is that they stated that it will be based on untold stories from events across the globe. So War Stories will be based on untold stories from events across the globe. So I guess it's, I guess every country has their war stories. So they must have, gone out there and did some research and got some stories from the war, and now going to sort of turn it into gaming, as far as I can understand it. It's going to be very customizable, so players, weapons and vehicles. So, I guess it's got a bit of Dragon Age-esque about it, where you can customize pretty much your whole player's look, and also your weapons and your vehicles. So that's interesting. They're going to have no more premium passes for maps or any other things. What they're going to do is have like a Tides of War option, Now this is all new to me, so excuse me if it sounds like I don't know what I'm talking about, because I've obviously read up on it, and I'm just trying to get a grasp on it myself. But apparently with Tides of War, there will be an evolving narrative with new gameplay, new items, new events added over time. I'll just read you a bit that I got from Tech Radar. This is just a quick paragraph. So it appears that Tides of War content updates will be split into chapters, with each chapter lasting a few months and featuring time-limited experiences, participating in which will allow players to earn special rewards, which will include new weapons, vehicles, dog tags, and emblems, and soldier and weapon skins. A part of the Tides of War will be a Grand Operations, which is a mode which builds on operations from Battlefield 1. Grand Operations is a large, live, events-based multiplayer experience which will see players play long missions over several in-game days, with each day taking players to a new map within the mission. This could be around an hour of your real life overall. So that's taken from a Tech Radar article. That's essentially what Tides of War is. Apparently, on that online mode, it changes with the choices you make. So, on that, when it says in-game days, I think a mission might be 3 or 4 days or whatever it is. If one day there's certain things you might do, maybe not kill as many, people on the enemy side, or, things like that. I think the next day the game will evolve into what sort of happened that previous day. So each time you play it is going to be pretty much different. That's what I can gather from it anyway. There will be a new team-orientated multiplayer mode where I think what they're aiming for is that everyone has like some type of medic ability. Obviously, if you pick a medic, you'll probably have more abilities than the average other player that doesn't pick a medic. But I think now they're trying to aim for your team of 4 to really stick together. So everyone, it's kind of a it's kind of a leave no man behind kind of take on it. So if everyone has that ability to heal somebody, then the chances are, instead of waiting for that one guy to come and get you, then you've got that other person that can, another teammate has the ability to heal you. So yeah, definitely going for a team-orientated type of online multiplayer mode there. Now, my overall opinion of what we know so far, look, it's hard for me to say. But the graphics, I must admit, I wasn't a big fan of in the gameplay trailer. It was kind of weird. It was kind of realistic, but kind of Fortnite-y in a way. Like I know it was nothing like Fortnite, but it was just a weird sort of look, I guess. And the way that player was playing, and I'm kind of looking at it and I'm thinking, how would you do that playing the game? I'm a bit skeptical, of how much of that gameplay trailer really is gameplay. I mean, clearly, obviously the whole start bit isn't, but when you sort of start getting that first-person shooter look at it, some of the things that player was doing was kind of like, I don't know how it would work, sort of when you're actually sitting there playing it. It all seemed like there was far too much going on. So look, there's not much else we can take from it, unfortunately, because we all don't know much. But that there is my take on Battlefield 5 at the moment. So look, fingers crossed it turns out to be a great game. I know there's a lot of mixed emotions out there on it at the moment, but hopefully it's what people expect, which is a good first-person shooter game. So that's Battlefield 5. I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Dencast. I hope you've found out a few things that you probably hadn't heard of previously, and look out for more episodes coming soon. Always got my eye on what's happening in the gaming industry, and I love recording this and bringing it to you guys. And anyway, until next time, thank you so much for joining us, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a great day or night. Bye for now.